Hola mi gente, mi nombre es Rafael. Yo soy un estudiante de español. Yo practico español para 100 días. What's going on, guys? My name is Rafael. I'm a student of Spanish. I've been practicing Spanish for about 100 days. Actually, I have a 172-day streak on Duolingo. So I've been using Duolingo and Chatgpt. The reason I have a 172-day streak, you're like, Raf, you just said you had a 100-day streak on Duolingo, or you've been practicing Spanish for 100 days. I was practicing Japanese, didn't have enough people around to speak Japanese or really just to be immersed in the culture, so I found it difficult. So I'm gonna switch to Spanish. Now, I still do wanna learn Japanese. I wanna be a polyglot. A polyglot is someone that learns multiple languages. I'm not sure if there's like a minimum languages you have to learn. I would say it's like 5. If I do 5 languages in like 5 years, I'd be super ecstatic. Obviously, I already know English. I'm learning Spanish right now, which I feel like I should be pretty fluent in by the end of the year. The way I'm practicing, I've been practicing to like 1 to 2 hours a day. Portuguese, I feel like it's gonna be easy, especially after learning Spanish. Not easy necessarily, but easier than it would have been without learning Spanish. And then I don't know what I'm gonna do after that. Maybe Japanese, maybe like Russian or something, or probably Japanese. I could see Japanese going after that. It depends on like what is like the most available or close to me. And then eventually I'd love to go to like Spain or South America to learn some other languages. So in today's video, I'm gonna be showing you how I use Chatgpt to speak in Spanish and like how I set it up and everything. And also my progress with Spanish. So right now I'm at a level 17 on Duolingo. This is my 17 level on Duolingo. It says I'm you are aligned with you are aligned with an early A1 of the CERFR. I don't know what that means. In real life, you can ask and answer simple questions. So like, yo necesito, voy a la baño, ¿dónde está el baño? Or I said la baño, but it's supposed to be el. And then whatever they respond. But I feel like I'm probably closer to you're aligned with a high A1. In real life, you can chat a little if someone's patient and ready. This is probably also why I prefer using Chatgpt over a tutor. I feel like the benefit of a tutor though, especially if they're from a Spanish speaking country, that you're learning their dialect of Spanish and more of their culture. With Chatgpt, I like the benefit is I can use it anytime. I can ask it to repeat a question 1,000 times and there's no time limit. When you're in a tutoring session, you probably have like an hour, 30 minutes, whatever and whatnot, unless you want to pay for more. And Chatgpt doesn't really have an emotion, so it can't get frustrated with you. So that's why I like using it. And then also I can be like, hey, I think you said something wrong. Can you look it up? And then it could also look it up as well. So I love using Chatgpt. It has a voice chat, decent accent. And then I could also ask it about like cultural things, events and whatnot. So the way I use Chatgpt is like, hey, I want to speak to you in Spanish. Anytime I make an error in Spanish, correct me in English. Sometimes I have to do it a couple times, remind it to correct it in English and whatnot. So that, if I have to spend 10 minutes on that one mistake I made, like I'd rather spend 10 minutes on it. I might make the mistake again in the future, but I know the more I understand the mistake I made, the more it's going to be implemented into my vocabulary for Spanish, which has been really good. Also, today's video is sponsored by Hydrate. Electrolytes by Hollow Labs. Hollow Labs has some great electrolytes. It's summertime, guys. It's super hot. Stay hydrated. It affects your performance. It helps you not get dehydrated. It helps you prevent getting cramps. It tastes super awesome, and it's good for, like I said, your brain. If you're dehydrated, your performance is going to go down, so that's not going to be good. So yeah, let me talk about my progress a little bit. So my progress is that I was at like a level 11 or 14, maybe about a week or two ago. Sometimes I skip levels that I really understand, like a section. So like one section is about like clothes. I'm like, I know camiseta is like a t-shirt. I know camisa, a shirt. Vestido is like a dress. So I'm like, oh, or falda is dress or skirt, whatever. So I was like, I understand a lot of this. Like, let me move on to the next section. I don't like to do that a lot, because I feel like it's not like the best thing to do, but at the same time I'm like, all right, this is getting repetitive and I need to stay motivated. It's super important that I'm staying motivated and happy in order to learn a language, because that's the purpose. The purpose is, obviously to have discipline and whatnot, but to have fun. So if I want to move on to another section, I will. And what happens is every time you go through like sections, I'll talk about clothes again in the future, and then I might make that mistake, and then eventually at the end of every lesson, if you make a mistake, Chatgpt makes you fix that mistake. So it's super awesome and super efficient at helping you learn the language. There's also like voice ones as well, so you can start speaking. But I feel like in order to, be a good conversationalist, you have to have those conversations, which is why I've been using Chatgpt voice chat for about 30 minutes every day. But as far as like in-person conversations, like I don't talk to too many people in person. I do have some friends that speak Spanish and whatnot, but it's cool that I'm in public sometimes and I'll hear Spanish speaking people and I listen to what they say. I feel like I hear the word caminar a lot, is like to walk, because I'm constantly probably going maybe on like hikes, or maybe I'm in like a town and they have food and like, oh, we're gonna go walk here, we're gonna go walk here. So it's cool to hear that. They're talking about comida, they're talking about like sitting down and like, like family members and whatnot. So I'm definitely understanding the language more, and I love the progress that I'm making using these two. So let's get it started. Let's actually use ChatGPT to practice Spanish. And I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I'm just going to have like a regular conversation. So I'm turning it on as my ChatGPT. This is the blue. Hola, ChatGPT. Me llamo es Rafael y yo quiero practicar español con tú. And then I also I have to keep talking to it because I'm also making a YouTube video, ChatGPT. I also have to keep talking to it or it's gonna interrupt me. So ChatGPT, when I make any mistakes in Spanish, I would like for you to correct me in English so I can truly understand the mistake I made. Obviously, speak the Spanish parts, but I need you to say it in English so I truly understand.
Got it. That sounds like a great plan, Rafael. So whenever you say something in Spanish and there's a little mistake, I'll let you know in English so you can get the full picture. Let's do this.
So I put it on mute right now. Also, something that just happened with ChatGPT, they have the voice text now, so it's just reading everything it just said to me, which is cool. So now it's gonna show me the correct version of Spanish, which is great. Hola, hoy yo fui a la gimnasio en la mañana. Yo yo enseño una clase de jiu-jitsu para 1 hora.
That was really good. Just a small correction. Instead of saying yo escucha, you should say yo enseño, because you want to say I teach. But you called that yourself, so well done.
You can continue like having the conversation.
Absolutely. So after you taught your jiu-jitsu class, what did you get up to next? Did you have any other plans for the day, or was it all about training today?
I want you to ask me that question, but in Spanish.
Claro. Entonces, después de enseñar tu clase de jiu-jitsu, ¿qué hiciste después? ¿Tuviste algún otro plan para el día o todo se trató de entrenar hoy?
Después de la clase, yo voy a mi casa y yo desayuno avena con un café. No tiene un guineo en la mañana. Y después comer. Después como. Yo voy a mi cama, pero yo tengo mucho cansado y yo toma dormir, a nap.
You did really well. Just a couple of small adjustments. Instead of saying no tengo gimnasio en la mañana, you could say no voy al gimnasio en la mañana. And at the end, instead of yo toma una dormir, you can say yo tomo una siesta. Other than that, it was great.
What is a siesta? What is this?
Siesta.
Oh, siesta. All right, so before I was talking about, I don't know if I made this video, I was talking about naps, but I didn't know how to say nap in Spanish before. So
yeah, a nice little nap.
I just paused it, but yeah, I didn't know how to say nap before, but now I know how to say nap. So yo tomo una siesta. So nap is feminine. So I'm gonna go back to speaking in Spanish. Also, like I said guineo before and I said gimnasio, or maybe I thought I was saying, maybe I'm wrong, but I said guineo. It seemed like I was talking about that. Sometimes it makes mistakes, which is fine, but as long as I understand the context of the mistake, then that's fine. And then eventually, like, it's also probably my accent too is not perfect in Spanish, so eventually, like, that'll make some adjustments to that. Continue the conversation.
All right, so after you had your breakfast
in Spanish.
Claro. Entonces, después de desayunar y tomar tu siesta, ¿Qué hiciste luego? ¿Tuviste algún plan interesante para el resto del día?
So you said clearly after you had dinner and after you had breakfast and took a nap, what are you gonna? I don't know what "que haciste luego" means. It says, do you have another interesting plan for the rest of the day?
Exactly. So, ¿qué hiciste luego just means what did you do next, or what did you do after that? And yeah, I was just curious if you had any other interesting plans for the day.
Just turning off the Wi-Fi because we look at poor connection. Después, yo hace un video de YouTube ahora con mis amigos de YouTube y necesito ir a la gimnasio por mi amigo porque ellos quiere hacer videos de la gimnasio. Ellos es un jefe de gym y ellos quiere hablar however you say about muchos programas de intrepid strength and conditioning.
That was great. Just a few small tweaks. Instead of saying yo hace un video, you would say yo hago un video. Also, for él es un jefe, you'd use él instead of ello. And to say talk about, you can say hablar sobre o hablar acerca de. Overall, you did really well.
Hablar sobre, it means like to talk on? What does that mean?
Yeah, exactly. Hablar sobre means to talk about or to talk on the topic of.
So, él quiere hablar sobre muchos programas de gimnasios.
That's perfect. You nailed it with that sentence. It sounds like your friend has a lot of gym programs he wants to discuss.
Sí, ello es más inteligente y muchas personas van a la gimnasio, muchos hijos, muchos mejores, muchos hombres, muchas personas y la gente de ellos es muy simpáticos y inteligente y mucho, or muy fuerte.
You're doing really well. Just a couple of tiny adjustments. Instead of saying ellos es, you'd say ellos son to keep it plural. And when you say muchos hijos, it might be clearer to say muchos niños if you mean a lot of kids, unless you mean something else by hijos. But overall, that was awesome and you're expressing yourself really well.
Yes, muchos niños would make sense because hijos is kids. And then yes, I messed up with S. I should have said son. So ellos son muy inteligente, muy fuerte, muy simpático. Ellos son bien. Y muchos niños y muchas personas van a los gimnasios de mi amigo.
Perfect. You got it all right this time. Your Spanish is definitely improving and it's awesome to see you getting more confident with it. Keep it up.
See, continue the conversation with whatever you want to say. Just ask me one more question. I want to make this video 15 minutes. We got one more minute.
Sure thing. One more question for you. What's one new
Spanish In Spanish. Simple question.
Claro. Aquí va para pregunta en español. ¿Cuál es una palabra o una frase nueva en español que has aprendido recientemente?
It says, what word or phrase in Spanish do you... I don't know what that resentment that means. Say it again, but then say it again in Spanish, but then say it in English as well.
Of course. So the question in Spanish was, ¿cuál es una palabra o una frase nueva en español que has aprendido recientemente? And in English, that means, what is a new word or phrase in Spanish that you have recently learned?
I've learned so many words. Ask me a different question. Something more general.
Got it. All right. Here's a more general question. What's one goal you have for yourself, whether it's in language learning, jiu-jitsu, or anything else that you're excited about right now?
Ask me a different question, but in Spanish. You have to ask me the question in Spanish.
aquí va la pregunta en español. ¿Cuál es una meta que tienes ahora mismo, ya sea en el aprendizaje de idiomas, en el jiu-jitsu?
No, it's something more simple, dude. You're killing me. I'm not that good at Spanish yet.
Got it, no worries. Let's keep it simple. ¿Te gusta más la mañana o la noche? Which means, do you like the morning or the night better?
Me gusta la mañana más porque yo quiero beber café en la mañana. No mucho like noise. Mucho, I don't know how you say quiet. How do I say quiet? It's not quieto. Mucho tranquilo en la mañana porque muchas personas no hablan con mí en la mañana y en la mañana afuera tiene mucho sol y me gusta comer desayuno y muchas personas en la noche dormir y yo quiero hablo con personas en la tarde, no en la noche. So, me gusta la mañana y el tarde, pero la noche no me gusta mucho. Y yo quiero caminar en muchos hikes en la mañana. En la noche no possible, not possible, porque es muy dangerous. And yeah, I like the morning because I like to eat breakfast, I like coffee. There's not a lot of people talking, but I do like to talk to people in a quieter setting. It's very peaceful, and in the night you can't, people are either sleeping or I don't really like fiestas. No me gusta fiestas. And yeah, so that's why I like the morning more.
That was awesome. You explained that really well, and I can totally see why you enjoy the mornings more. They really do have that peaceful vibe, especially with a nice cup of coffee. Keep up the great work.
How was my Spanish? Did I make any mistakes?
Your Spanish was really good. You communicated everything clearly. Just a couple of tiny things. For mucho tranquilo, you can say muy tranquilo. And instead of no es posible, you can say no es posible or no es factible for it's not. Your Spanish was great. You communicated everything really well. Just a couple of tiny tweaks. Instead of saying no mucho personas, you'd say no muchas personas. And when you said no posible, you can say no es posible to make it flow a bit better. But overall, you did an amazing job.
Awesome, thank you, Chatgpt. I'm gonna end it now. And that's pretty much how I use Chatgpt to have conversations. I actually never looked at the words before, and I don't know if I necessarily like that. I'm sure it's good for learning, how to, correctly learning things and whatnot. But I feel like I'm a little bit too distracted by looking at the words, where I rather just kind of get it from a place of, verbal. Eventually, I think at the end of the conversation to look back, I think that would be good. Just to understand the tenses and how to grammatically write things correctly, because I don't write a lot in Spanish. I actually find it probably more difficult to write in Spanish than to actually just verbalize it and whatnot. Because it's easy to say a million words at once. It's like using the voice option on ChatGPT. It's so much easier just to to use the voice than to actually with the text, because you can speak 100 words in 20 or 30 seconds, but to type them out, people are good. They're definitely really good at typing them out like that, but it's difficult. I wonder what's going on with typists, people who type for a living. Are they still needed for those kind of jobs, or is it just all right, you can use AI now, which is going to be 20 times faster? People complain about AI a lot. It's all right, now we replaced your job. Now you have time to do something more efficient and better value society. AI is just technology that's making our lives easy, and now you can develop a skill or get into some kind of art. You're oh, they're taking our jobs. All right, it's taking your job, but learn how to use it so that you can make enough money so that you can save your job or figure out a different way to make it more efficiently, right? Or make an app or something, I don't know. Obviously things are difficult, but you gotta do what you gotta do. But anyways, that's it. My name is Rafael. It's super hot outside, it's summertime. Make sure you guys stay hydrated and keep learning Spanish. If you guys can, give me a like, give me a subscribe, drop a comment if you have any way that you use ChatGPT more efficiently than me so that I can learn Spanish much better than I am now. Peace.